the luxury secret island mansion of Pablo Escobar. Extremely far out in the Caribbean, beyond the bleached white tourist beaches sits an island whose culture has essentially stayed unchanged for hundreds of years. La Isla Grande is home to roughly 800 islanders who rely on fishing and farming to survive. They're cut off from the rest of the world, with no running water or electricity. However, this idyllic setting drew the attention of one vacationer who built a palace which is now abandoned. That would be Pablo Escobar, the original El Patron. We uncover more about him as well as his island mansion in today's video, so prepare to learn everything there is to know about Pablo Escobar's underground hideaway mansion and what happened to it once it had been completely abandoned. So stay tuned. But before we start, please leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell for more amazing videos. And now, with no further ado, let's get started. Pablo Escobar was without a doubt one of the most controversial figures of the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. He was well known for his criminal operations and reached his pinnacle when he established himself as the commander of the deadly Medellin cartel. His worth was reported to be $30 billion at one point, and it's generally known that he had to bury or conceal his money within the walls of his mansions just to keep it all contained. Escobar's life was full of excess, as one would expect from one of the world's wealthiest men. He possessed 15 planes and 6 helicopters, in addition to a multitude of expensive cars. One of his mansions was in Tulum. It was rediscovered in 2003, purchased by New York art dealer Leo Malka in 2012, and transformed into a modern 5-star resort by 2015. The polished concrete floors and brilliant white walls of the mansion make the wacky artwork stand out like it belongs in a gallery. The property feels warm and rustic thanks to floor-to-ceiling windows that give it plenty of natural light, as well as vibrant red splashes of color and natural wood elements. Outside, you can lounge by the pool or take a nap in one of the swaying hammocks near the water. Another mansion was the Hacienda Nápoles near Puerto Triunfo, Colombia. The mansion was 93 miles east of Medellin and had Spanish colonial architecture, a zoo, an airfield, and a kart racing track. In an odd turn of events, the estate has been converted into a theme park. After all, who needs Disneyland? Pablo Escobar's hippos may be the strongest legacy. Yep, at Hacienda Nápoles, a herd of almost 20 hippos has expanded from just 4. Escobar's passion for the exotic has resulted in a variety of ventures. He also arranged to build his own prison after being apprehended, effectively living as a free man. Colombian police weren't permitted to approach within a 12-mile radius of La Cathedral. Escobar had a gym, a billiards room, a bar, a disco where he even staged wedding celebrations, a sauna, a jacuzzi, a waterfall, big screen TVs, and a life-size dollhouse for when his small daughter visited. The house was dubbed a party mansion. The Escobar family spent a lot of time relaxing here after 5 years of building. A rival cartel, however, planted a large number of explosives inside the house in 1993, clearly destroying a large chunk of it. Today, it's a popular attraction for the adventurous who don't mind arriving by boat and sneaking about, despite the fact that it's now a public facility. Escobar also owned another 4-bedroom house located right along the Biscayne Bay waterfront. The property was taken by the U.S. government in the 1980s, long before Escobar's death. But that isn't the most intriguing aspect of this property. They discovered a metal safe after the home's new owner, Christian de Bordoir, demolished the structure in 2016. The former cartel boss was well known for stashing large sums of money within the house's walls and floors, so it shouldn't have come as a surprise to find another lost treasure. De Bordoir did in fact discover the second safe beneath the floor, but it had been stolen. The first safe, according to our knowledge, has yet to be opened and is kept in a bank vault. And now, let's take a look at the gorgeous villa that originally functioned as Escobar's party house. It's tucked away in the jungles of Colombia, accessible only by water. There isn't much left, to be sure. It's been neglected for many years. In an unsettling contrast to its owner, it's fallen out of favor from its former splendor. A huge complex of luxury buildings is hidden and isolated between the tropical jungle and the Caribbean Sea on the island's far side. The decay of the structures reflects man's demise. Escobar's plans for his parties at his mansion on La Isla Grande were no less lavish. He had a home, waterfront apartments, a palm court centered around an immense swimming pool, and a helicopter landing pad built for him. No cost was spared, even down to the gold shower heads in the bathrooms. With over 300 rooms for guests and partygoers, Escobar's playground looked like the Strip from Miami's South Beach during its height in the 1980s. You have to find a special boat from Cartagena just to travel to the island, which is only a few kilometers long. The majority of the islanders live in and around Orica, the main town, which has excellent recycling and conservation activities. There were no signs or planned visits to the Escobar estate, known locally as La Casa Grande, so I asked a worker at an eco-hotel about it and he volunteered to take me there. I spotted a glimpse of white concrete through the thick tropical undergrowth after hours of hiking through the Caribbean bush. First by canoe through tight mangrove swamps, then on bicycles with long-gone suspension, and lastly by foot. An old ornately tiled pathway went into Escobar's palace from the woodland bottom. As I walked through the barren gate, a 30-foot luxury speedboat lay on its side, overgrown with tropical flowers. A family of gigantic wild pigs has taken up residence in the once luxurious grounds. The pastel blue and coral pink color schemes of the 1980s are still visible on the crumbling walls of the main residence, which had been decked with white tile and marble. The foyer opens to a large patio with palm trees and views of the Caribbean Sea. A large and well-drained pool dominated the court. While the home ceiling is missing big sections, the rooms are filled with massive archways, painted walls, and tiled flooring. The villa's windows appear to be strengthened in some places. Individual chalet residences, like the bigger buildings, have long since begun to disintegrate due to the constant Caribbean trade winds. Yet, life on La Isla Grande continues much as it did before Escobar arrived. In the barrios, he created luxurious soccer grounds and formed teams and leagues for the kids. T-shirts with El Patron's visage, as well as replica jerseys of Colombian icon and Real Madrid player James Rodriguez are sold on the streets of Cartagena, Las Palenqueras. It's difficult to say if Escobar was a genuine benefactor to Colombia's working class versus the largely forgotten image he created around himself. His public funeral was unmistakably that of a popular king, not a mass killer. It was his popularity among the working class that aided him when he ran for public office. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Would you consider visiting La Isla Grande soon? Do you like any of Escobar's mansions? Comment below. Let's engage. Also, please leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos. Goodbye for now, my friends. See you in the next video.